Okay, the day has officially arrived. Hobbit pre-release is here. This is actually my first ever Magic the Gathering pre-release. I'm going to show you what I'm bringing. So we've got water, we've got sleeves, we've got Listerine strips, some counters, battery for the phone, and then I don't know if they actually provide like basic lands for pre-release. So just a box of different lands, but I gotta go. It's getting close to go time. I would prefer to be early, being this is my first one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially made it. We are at the collector store, and I'm about to head in. I do not know what I'm walking into, but I'm excited to crack into the Hobbit, play some games, maybe make some friends. I also don't want to be the guy that's walking around at his first pre-release with a camera, so I'll film what I can and update y'all on the rest. Okay, back in the car. The one thing I will say was, I'm just at a lost for words. That was a blast. That was so much fun. If you're on the fence about participating in a pre-release, just do it. I really thought I was going to have more time in between the rounds to kind of recap some things, talk to you guys about the decks that I built. Once it's rolling, I mean, time flew by so fast. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna get a recap put together. I'll turn the camera on when I get back at the home base. I can give you guys the rundown on my first pre-release. So Hobbit pre-release, for those of you like myself that are unaware of how it works, you get one of these boxes that comes with 6 booster packs, as well as a spin down counter, and you crack the packs and you build the best deck that you can with what you pull from the packs. So there is an element of randomization that goes into this, but first thing that I noticed that was kind of crazy to me is how quick a lot of the people, I guess the more experienced players there, built their decks. Here I am, I pulled all the cards out and I'm sifting through the cards and goes like, oh, this is cool, trying to read the mechanics, for all the different cards that I'm finding. Big mistake. I think a lot of these people showed up, they had a game plan. So if I were to do it again, I think I would come into it with more of a game plan, because the thing that was a bummer initially is I was faced against the countdown timer to finish building my deck. So I will say the first deck that I built was actually green-black. And it just so happens the first round that I was in, I was playing someone else that was playing green-black. Well, the first round, and every round has 3 games. It's best of 3. I lost the first game. So not a great way to start the pre-release, but I actually won the second game. So we went into the third game. He completely stomped me in the third game. And I realized pretty quickly that taking, I guess, the adequate amount of time necessary to build your deck, or using the most of the time that you have to build your deck, really benefits, because the way he played green-black was way better than the way I was playing green-black. Fortunately, super cool dude, he actually looked at the other cards that I pulled, and he said, hey, you've got a lot of good red and black cards. He suggested that I pivot to a red and black deck, which that's what I ended up doing for the rest of the pre-release. So pre-release was 3 rounds. The next 2 rounds, I played red-black. And it worked out better for me, for sure. I guess, spoiler alert, round 2, I lost the first game. Second game I won. Third game I won. So I did win the second round of the tournament, which is great. After losing the first one, it still felt good to kind of be in the action. The opponent that I was playing against, he used a multicolored deck, which I do not, I don't know. I don't think it makes the most sense when you have like a limited 40 card deck. However, he had a lot of cards that had landfall triggers that allowed him to search his deck to find the lands that he needed, but I'm pretty sure he had 3 or 4 different colors going on in his deck at once. But I won the second round. Also just great close games. The first game that I actually played against him that he ended up winning, I got him all the way down to 1 life. And then by the end of it, he was swinging on me and got me down from like 19 to lose that first game. It was crazy. So when his deck drew correctly, it worked out really great for him. But the red-black combination that I made for my deck was just a lot more aggressive. Interestingly enough, I didn't have a lot of low-cost creatures in red-black, but what I did have was a lot of low-cost removal. So, you know, like that's an example here is Bilbo's Deadly Slice, destroy target creature. We also had, let's see if we can find it here, other like red removal, things that were just relatively low cost that allowed me to keep the board clean. Like the Pinecone Strike, 3 damage to target creature. It allowed me to keep the board clean until I was able to cast some of the larger creatures. One of them being Smog, Wicked Worm. This was one of the nicer pulls that I actually got from opening all 6 packs. And I'll show you some of the other nice pulls that I got as well. But this one helped out a lot late game. This was another nice pull that I got that I added to my red-black deck. The mana curve, again, was more inclined towards removal on the earlier part of the curve. The bigger creatures later in the game, when they came out to play, it was a good situation. Round 2 was great. Round 3. Round 3 was interesting because my opponent was also playing Rakdos, black-red. And we had very similar cards, so by that point in the 3rd round, we were familiar with our cards. It was a little bit quicker of gameplay. However, the first match in round 3, I drew a total of 2 mana. So I got mana screwed in the first game. That wrapped up. Second game, I actually won. And then the 3rd and final game, golly, there was just some crazy combination at the end. He had, I can't remember the name of the card, but he had a card that came in that allowed another creature he had on his board to do damage equal to that creature's power to another creature on my board, which took it off the board, which allowed him to swing and hit me for the last bit of damage that he needed to win. But that final game actually went into overtime. So for those of you unaware, at pre-release, you have a limited amount of time to fit in your 3 games. If you're on your final game when the clock runs out, the judges will come over and say, okay, this is turn 0. You have a total of 5 turns to wrap this up. So I would go turn 1, he would go turn 2, I would be back for turn 3. At the end of the 5th turn, if you guys still haven't finished the game yet, then it ends in a draw. But he was able to pull through at the end. So all in all, I won 1 round and I lost 2 rounds. But every round, I played all 3 games. So I'm happy I got to play 9 games of Magic today. It was a blast. Again, these were some of the highlighted cards from the deck that I ultimately ended up playing. And then I'll just give you the rundown on some other cool cards that I did pull. You know, we'll flash, I guess, what the pre-release prices are up on the screen now because typical fashion, of course, we're gonna keep track of the prices. The game plan hasn't changed. We pull valuable cards, we sell valuable cards, we play with the rest. But these were some of the cool cards that we got from the packs. In the pre-release kit, they actually have these planes that represent all 4 seasons. And I know right now the price on these is actually quite a bit inflated, but I will plan to sell those as well. However, the best pull, we're so happy to see this, we actually got one of these book cover rares. We got Thranduil. I didn't play this in my deck, even though I really wanted to. It's just hard in a limited 40 card deck format to play 3 colors. But very, very cool card. I'm glad I pulled it. And for those of you that are hesitant to participate in the pre-release, I have to say, just do it. I wasn't sure going into it what it would be like. It was freaking awesome. I wish I had time to do more. I had a blast. So if you have one near you, recommend you go. I went by myself, so you don't need to know anyone to go. And truthfully, I was just busy the whole time, whether it was building a second deck or, you know, wrapping up the matches. There were really no lulls. It was just go, go, go for 4 hours straight. Started at 2 p.m., wrapped up right before 6, because 6 is when the second pre-release started. All that to say, with my round 1, I did get 1 booster pack as my reward. And I feel like the best way to wrap this video up is to crack this open together. We'll do a 1 pack opening here at the end. And stay tuned because we also picked up some other Hobbit goodies that we'll be opening on a future video. And I also know, this being a smaller set, there is a high likelihood of duplicate cards, which, you know, even though this is only the 7th pack that I've opened, I've already seen a lot of duplicates. I think that's going to happen quite a bit with this set. This actually is the card that I was telling you about that beat me in the final round. So if you read the text here, you can sacrifice another creature. When you do, this deals damage equal to that creature's power to another target creature. So it's just rubbing it in my face. That's fine. I'm glad I have them in my repertoire now. And then for our rare, this is great. I'm glad to have this. I really do want to go back to building a green and black deck and using the ferocious mechanic and building it around wolves. Just interesting to me. But that is a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, we'll open more Hobbit goodies soon enough, but just wanted to give you the rundown on my first pre-release experience. Thanks for coming along. Peace.